ready? Isidro is. Are you ready? Good evening, everyone. It's 5 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and start. Thank you very much. We're good? All right. Thank you. Opening items. 1, call to order. Ms. Burgos.
Trustees present this evening are Trustee Romero, Trustee Magallanes, and Trustee Lorenzo Calderon Jr. Absent, you have Trustee Alvarado and Trustee Ciro Calderon. You have a quorum.
Thank you, Ms. Burgos. 2, Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Garcia, can you lead us? Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Garcia. B, published from the comments, closed sessions only. We have, actually, it's 3 on, so we're gonna go ahead and, it's Ms. Rosa Lopez. Okay, go ahead. Okay. You okay, Richard? Ms. Magallanes?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, proceed, Ms. Lopez.
Well, good evening. My name is Rosa Lopez. Or do I turn to the, is this my voice? Is that okay? No, you have to be quiet. There you go. Okay. Good evening. My name is Rosa Lopez, and I'm a language arts teacher at Willie Moreno Junior High School. During my 32 years tenure in Calexico Unified School District, I have served in different positions, and I really thank the district for this. This year, however, has been extremely disconcerting with regard to the instructional changes that have been made for newcomer and second-year students. These students are being placed in English language arts classes with long-term English learners or students who have been in the United States for 2 to 5 years or more and are still English learners. Needless to say, there is a major disparity in their learning due to their English language proficiency. Imagine an English language arts teacher teaching elements of plot, theme, characterization within one classroom within the varying levels of English. To make things worse, they are getting further left behind in conceptual understanding as they are being mainstreamed in content courses such as history, science, and math without the language skills needed to understand the learning, while alongside these same students. These newcomer students need specialized instruction, at least for 1 to 2 years. Our newcomer students are not the same as the ones we had 10 years ago. Yes, there are those few that come from private schools with a handle of survival English, yet those are very, very few. Districts such as Sweetwater and San Diego City schools provide ELD rather than ELA, as well as designated ELD that are leveled by proficiency for that class and bilingual classes, primary instruction in content courses in additional intervention classes for 2 or 3 years if needed. Shame on Calexico that we don't have that. What is even more unnerving is that changes were made only for newcomer students, as if they are the root cause of our 5,000 plus short-term and long-term ELs, which were not even addressed with changes or interventions. Our numbers of newcomers are only a very tiny number piece for the whole EL program about meeting the academic standards in this district. I have already reviewed the EL district EL master plan, which, by the way, I have not found any documentation that this plan was board approved at any of the board meetings. Community members also should have been engaged in the drafting of this plan, as well as classroom teachers. According to the Calexico Unified School District English Language Master Plan, the one that just came out this year, Year 1 newcomers, upon parent request students, may be placed in the following. Number 1, ELA course, that is English Language Arts NC, which I think it's newcomers, with a cohort by grade level. Number 2, designated ELD. That means language and content, newcomer, cohort by grade level. Mainstream in all core subjects with integrated ELD and primary learning support, not primary language instruction. Finally, the L master plan states, quote, there is, by the way, a grammatical piece, no primary language courses as per FPM. To date, there are around 43 newcomer students with parent requests that do not have an ELA newcomers class, yet they continue to be mainstreamed in all core subjects with varying levels of ELs. By the way, as I read the law, there is no 30-day wait time. I don't know if they were waiting for that. Our district is doing just an injustice in meeting the needs of newcomer students, as well as a regular long-term English learners. Yet, no administrator from the district office is willing to step up and address the problem. Not to this date. Yesterday, there was a meeting at our school that was called last minute, and many of us couldn't attend. With all due respect, I truly believe that if these parents filed a uniform complaint procedure, they would be in all of their rights. I plead to you, board members, with no offense to our administrators here, search for accountability on this injustice of violating parent and student rights. We must remember that in 2016, California voters approved Proposition 58, also known as the California Education for a Global Economy Initiative. The purpose of this initiative is to ensure that all children in California public schools receive the highest quality, master the English language, and access high quality, innovative, and research-based language programs that prepare them to fully participate in global economy. This is perhaps what administration has not fully understood. All they understood is that our last FPM said that we needed to ensure that we didn't find ourselves segregating students. So in essence, they took the short route and implemented measures that are not educationally sound, rather than seeking resources or reaching what other districts are doing. And this to me is outrageous. For board members, please refer to Board Policy 6174 on English learners and 6142.2 on world language instruction, as there is a major disconnect with this English learner master plan and the board policy. In closing, just think, what if it was you, your sibling, or any other family member that was that newcomer student? There's a sense of urgency to do away with irreparable harm in our students' education. Thank you.
Next speaker is Elba Benitez.
Good evening. My name is Eva Benitez, and I teach language arts, AVID, and AVID Excel at William Moreno Junior High. I'm here today to plead for your help on behalf of our students. My esteemed colleague, Ms. Rosa Lopez, has made you aware of the situation happening not only at our site, but at all schools in our district. It is unthinkable that we live in a border city, but we can't offer instructional programs for our newcomer students. Other school districts from up and down California with demographics such as ours are able to offer ELD 1, ELD 2, and even ELD 3 programs. For the past 8 years that I've been here, the English Learner Program has been inconsistent and inefficient. I feel that it has reached its breaking point. Not only do we not have adequate classes for our newcomers, but the situation with our long-term ELs needs serious attention. Every year, students take a barrage of tests to measure this and that. However, the coordinators and/or administrators do not consistently relay data to our staff. This makes it difficult to implement proper interventions and curriculum planning. A perfect example of this is our long-term English learners. Since I've been here, I've always taught what was formerly known as language support to what is now labeled language and content. For this particular class, there is no pacing guide, no set curriculum, no standards to be addressed, nor is there a basic course description. The William Moreno staff, as well as the staff at Kiki Camarena, are left to their own devices to create their own curriculum. To put it in perspective, every teacher is doing something different. There is no consistency. Yet, students are expected to pass the LPAC and become English proficient. For years, we have requested guidance from the district's EL department, but to no avail. It is sad to see long-term EL students that are still testing at level 1 LPAC and reading at a kinder or first grade level on iReady when they've been enrolled in our district since kindergarten. I believe that this is attributed to the lack of interventions and lack of guidance from our district. It also shows the lack of teacher input. Teachers have always been willing to help in curriculum planning, but we are often overlooked and decisions are made without our knowledge. The communication is dismal at best. Again, I plead for your help on behalf of our students. The parents of our students are some of the most humble and trusting people, and they're placing their children's education in our hands. They are trusting us to do what is best for them. Please help us in providing the best education possible for this community. Thank you.
Next speaker is Guillermo Ureña. Oh, okay. Thank you. Denise Alvarado, is it? All right.
Good afternoon. My name is Denise Alvarado. I am an 8th grade language arts teacher at Willie Moreno Junior High as well. Currently, in each of my core language arts, not in my support classes, I have 5 to 6 newcomers in each class. That they've only been in the United States for about 25 days since school started, along with short-term EL 2nd through 6th grade in the United States. In addition, I have English-only students in those classes. In order to conduct my classes and making instruction accessible to all students, I use integrated ELD, SEDAI methodology to present my concepts. Reason for this is due to the different English proficiency levels I have in my classes. Unfortunately, most of the newcomer students are getting left behind despite my many strategies I'm using in the classroom. I also use grouping and buddy systems. However, at least 15 students have expressed their frustration in trying to access the learning. I am very empathetic to them and realize this is not educationally sound, yet it is doable. However, I have also had the long-term English learners and English-only students express their frustration during classes because they would like to move forward on concepts being presented in my class. The other day, I had a student scream out during class time, "Que no entiende? Que no sé inglés?" And it was not an ELD class, it's a core class. It was disheartening experience. I could read the word frustration right above the student. And that's not the only student. I've had students crying in class, in an 8th grade class. I truly believe that newcomer students need specialized instruction, which is not available to them. I know in the past we have had specialized instruction for them, which consists of introducing basic English language skills and concepts being taught in their primary language one day, and then the second day, they are introduced with the same concepts but in English. We've been told multiple times the ELD program was removed due to findings in the federal program review stating that students were not learning English. This is not a newcomer program. It is a total EL problem. I strongly recommend that you read CDE's English Roadmap to find best programs that you will find the newcomer programs work, especially for those first and second year students. Children or students get comfortable with reading and writing in a language they know first. Once they face into English, there's an impressive increase in these students' ability to read and write in English. To conclude, it is appalling what is going on in our district. Calexico was always known to have the best bilingual programs. This is why dual immersion is now the overall umbrella. This being two-way immersion, one-way immersion, or bilingual. To finish my statement, remember, we are a border city where 80% of our students are English learners. Perhaps total immersion would work where there are a few English learners. And in Calexico, this is not the case. Our students deserve access to the core curriculum in their language. Thank you.
We don't have any more. That's it. C, announcement to convene into closed session. It is now 5:16. Thank you.